Hello, everybody. Wanted to update some stuff. So we'll wait for some people to get in here and we'll get started. He waits till after I start. That's not right.
Yeah, you want me to share it to you? I'm just talking with Sean. Okay. I'll send.
Let's go over there.
He's there. I'll send you the link to the thing. I'll hang up on you now.
I already got it.
Okay. See you there.
See you there.
Harry, he got the link.
I sent it to him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hold on a second. I'm going to go out there. All right. Oh, there's
So, did you went to see Marion?
I did. Just got back.
Good. How's she doing?
You know, I'm getting used to that now. Every time I hear birds, I think Cher is on the panel.
If somebody could share it with her, that'd be great.
She's not feeling good.
Yeah, she's sleeping. She is sleeping. She is sleeping.
Me, I'm stuck at the yard now because the trailer's got to go to the shop because of a sensor issue. And it's like, look, man, you wouldn't have to work on that. I just came here for fuel. I'm sick of this coming to the yard to get fuel, and I always got to take the trailer to drop it, and then they got to take it into the shop and fix something.
Oh, my goodness. And that's the whole thing. Hey, Adrian!
Hi, Darren. Sean.
I'm live tonight if you guys are available.
Yep. Hello, Josh.
Hey.
I saw your post on Facebook. Prayers go out to you, of course. First order of business. Saw your post, and I'm praying for you. And for Marion, too.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I just got back from where she's staying at. And, even if I'm trying to help her over there because I'm allowed to, if she wants me to help her, she still won't listen. It's not connecting with me. And then when the nurses get in, it's like, can you please leave, sir? I was like, I'm allowed to see her privates.
Are you going in there for dessert?
You're helping out. That's what you're trying to do, so.
Yeah, but I want to see it. It's been a long time. It's Dusty Trail.
Exactly.
Dusty Trail.
And then as I was picking her up to move her on the bed because she wanted to sleep, she had to queef.
Ah.
I was like, I hope you were done with the bathroom. Doesn't seem like it.
To queef or not to queef? That is the.
My mouth was open and everything. She went, huh? And I was like, yep, you're not done yet. Thanks for letting me have a dessert.
To queef or not to queef?
Oh, man.
This was an actual fart that I've never heard before. But I still, I don't care how dirty her holes are. What?
Well, at least it's natural for her to let that out. It's very natural.
Well, she's got a lot of it built up in that stomach there. So she has to at least warn me before so I can close my mouth.
Oh.
Sean says, "Okay, come on, move on."
Well, every Filipina in the room just left.
All right, moving on.
If they understood what he was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what, though, Josh? You're doing what you can, and your wife appreciates what you're trying to do to help her out. You're doing what you can to help her out.
And
That's admirable.
being at a new place for her like this, I can't even grab her boob there, and she's all wearing a gown and stuff. But that's not the point. It's just I go there to help, and I still don't get any attention from her. Meaning, like, okay, you gotta put the effort in it too, But she won't. And then, like, we had to have 3 because she's bottom heavy, and I can't move her. She won't listen. So 3 nurses had to come in and move her. And I was like, why do you guys got to tell me to leave? I've seen it before.
That's true. You're the husband.
You're her husband. You've already seen everything already, so why should they tell you to leave for? Period.
And I told Marion, I said, I'm going to go. You have your phone. Call me if you want to talk and all this stuff. And while they were busy with her. But one of the nurses sounded like a straight fucking man. She had a voice that was stronger than the Green Giant. This was sick.
That kind of scares me a little bit with you saying that.
I mean, she didn't have to say ho, ho, ho. I can already hear it.
Good Lord, man.
She was tall, too. I mean, I was about to put my ringtone on and say, huge bitch. So let her feel with how that one sounds. Oh, can you leave, sir? No, I'm her husband. I'm allowed to see it. Just let you guys know she's got a penis in there. It's off to the left.
Jesus.
But she's like, don't tell him that. That was in confidence. I was like, okay. Adrian says, she's got one.
Jeez.
Sean says, what else does she have? Testes. It all just kind of came out one night. She pressed really hard and, so. So, Sean fell asleep.
Actually, no.
Okay.
I just hope they hurry up with the repairs on that trailer so I can get out of here. I'll give them an hour or two.
He wants to get there out.
Welcome in, Brett.
Hey, that's the real Brett.
How do you tell?
I think the other one gave up. He's like, okay, I'm done hiding. It was the other one. I haven't seen the other one, the fake one.
Well, how do you know?
The picture.
The picture.
The picture says it all. Just by looking at the picture and seeing if it's the actual real person on it or not. Just by looking.
And it was very annoying, whoever that was. How's Marion, Josh? I think we've already been through this 3 times. I'm not going to repeat it. Just rewatch it. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It has a familiar ring to it.
He was extremely too personal, and I don't even know who I'm talking to. It said B for butt wipe. That's all I know.
Well, quite frankly, it's none of their concern of what's going on right now.
Right.
They just need to stop asking the same question over and over again. That gets so annoying, actually.
Yeah.
Well, there's some Australian trolls that I know that would do that. They just do it to be a pain in the ass.
there's a bunch of people who act like trolls like that too, Sean. You just gotta know which ones are there and which ones are actually looking.
Because I told one, I said, do you have a short attention span? Or do you have a problem with English?
Uh-huh. Well, anyway, guys, I've already made up my mind when I'll be coming back to YouTube, so it'll probably be like the first or second week of June or maybe July, somewhere around there. I've already made up my mind already, so.
Yeah, you've been off. I mean, you only show up to people's streams, but yet you've been off, what, 2 years?
Yeah, I've been off for 2 years since Murad passed away over a year ago.
Well, that was 3 years ago.
Well, yeah, I've been off. Actually, I've been off for like going on 3 years now, actually.
That's right.
The only reason why I know that is because he passed away just a few months before the costume contest, and I got with Darren to have it on his channel and continue it, and we've had 3.
Yeah, but Murad died what, back in January or something like that?
January 21.
Yeah,
Right.
January 21, yeah. And I disappeared after that, so I took a 2-year hiatus because it hurt me a lot. It hurt me a lot with his passing. It really hurt me a lot, and it took a long time for me to recover from that one. That was a real tough pill to swallow with that one.
Yeah, it hurt a lot of people.
Yeah, that was a real hard one for me.
Hey, do you know JLB?
Yep.
Yeah, me and him had it out. That's why I don't go to his channel anymore. You know, he calls it the scamdemic. And I'm like, JLB, if it was such a scam, then can you bring my friend Murad back? And he didn't know who Murad was.
There's lots of people who didn't know Murad.
And I told him, I said, he died. It only took 3 days, and he died of it when he got it. And he was healthy. So it's not
Murad
a scam.
was as healthy as anything else.
Yeah, I know. That's why it shocked me. That's why it shocked me that it took him so quickly like that.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that the illness was going to be so bad just to take him from us so fast, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
That's
know
why
that.
it pissed me off. With JLB, I was being nice as possible and said, can you bring my friend Murad back if it was a scam? And I said, could you tell my sister and my niece about it? Because they're nurses, worked at Joliet Hospital, and they got it. But they both survived, but they both got it.
Yeah, but
I said,
when
the reason why he
started, a lot of people didn't survive. Thousands of people were gone within seconds each time.
The only reason why it's fake for him is because, you know, if he has any family, wasn't affected by it. People like him only will go with it, or will agree with it, knowing that it really does exist, until it happens to them. My sister told me the stories. The people that were Trump supporters were in such denial as they're dying of COVID, and they were told they were dying of COVID, and they intubated them. They were still in freaking denial about it.
Yeah, but they were making it all mandatory to get the shots for that crap.
And it's like, you know, these people are like, you could cart them away in the disaster and they still won't see it.
No, they won't. You know, they made it all mandatory for everybody here in the United States and all around the world just to get those shots. Just so nobody could get sick from it.
They didn't make it mandatory for me. I didn't get it. I didn't need it.
They were making people do it, but then after that, they just stopped that crap of making people want to get the shots anyway. So,
yeah, come to find out, I'm immune, and I learned that from my doctor. Because when she did my physical and they drew blood, she looked at the paperwork and said, "This is impossible." And I was having a Lou Gehrig moment. What, you've seen something that you never saw before? That's what I call a Lou Gehrig moment, you know. She goes, "No, you're immune." I'm like, "Immune?" He goes, to COVID. There's no trace of it. Everybody on the planet has come across it, and it's in your system. If you're immune to it, there'll be no trace.
Wow.
But your immune system destroys it. And I'm like, well, I'll be damned. And my kids, same way, because they were in contact with many times and they never got it.
My older brother got it. He lost his smell, the sense of smell, his taste. It affected him really bad.
Wow.
My brother could have died from it. Actually, he could have died from that. But they still hadn't had nothing yet at that time, and he was taking like over-counter meds and stuff like that. And then that following week, because my brother was away from home, and during this time, my dad was in the hospital when this whole crap started. So
see that? The female in the pink shirt and black shorts? That's a driver right there.
Oh.
She jumped out of the truck behind me.
The day that my dad died, my brother was there getting tested to see if he was already negative for that junk, and he was negative. And I got the phone call that day when my dad died. So. Where are you today, Sean?
I'm at the yard in Springfield waiting for them to repair the ABS sensor on my trailer so I can get out of here and head to Indianapolis.
Where are you? What state are you in right now?
I'm in Springfield, Missouri. This is our main yard.
Oh, you're in Missouri? Okay.
Yeah, I only came here to get fuel and to head on down the highway, but every time I stop at a yard, I got to fix some other driver's fuck up. They screw these trailers up, and every time I come, damn near every time, I got to drop the trailer and I got to put it in the shop and fix something.
Damn, that sucks.
And it's like, dudes, yeah, you don't want to wait around, but you want to show up so some other driver don't have to fix that. And plus, you get a real good discount on fuel at the yards.
How far are you from St. Louis, Missouri, exactly? How far are you from there?
About 170 miles.
Oh, okay. So you're not too far away then, because from here to Missouri is like almost like 11, 12 hours for me driving up there.
Yeah, and St. Louis, Missouri, they're having
Backlash. From here to St. Louis is about 11 to 12 hours driving.
Yeah, Backlash is being held there tonight. WWE Backlash?
Yeah, that's tomorrow, actually. That's tomorrow night.
Oh, it's tomorrow night? I thought it was tonight.
No, it's tomorrow. SmackDown's tonight. And then tomorrow night they'll have Backlash there in St. Louis.
And that's another reason why I want to get through St. Louis. because it's rumored that might be Kana's return.
Oh, okay. Well, you better get there soon then. I'm going to be watching on TV anyway because I've got I've got my brother's account with Peacock, so I'm able to watch the pay-per-views and all that now. And when my TV didn't update when it didn't update, it put Peacock on my TV. It's like, heck yeah. I logged into it. Next thing you know, I just started watching the pay-per-views. So it's tomorrow night, though. I think it starts like at 7 something, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific or something like that. I'll be watching it because John Cena's going to fight Randy Orton for the championship anyway.
But somebody sent me a message. Hey, Backlash is in St. Louis. Are you going to be going through there? I'm like, I think so.
Well, the venue's already sold out as is anyway, so there's no freaking way to get tickets now. And then they got that next month in June, I think it is. They got that AEW pay-per-view coming to Dallas, Texas. So
I couldn't tell you one person at AEW I don't watch. I only watch WWF when Kana's there. That's it.
That's WWE now. They've changed all that. But I watch it when she's there or her partner, Kairi Sane.
Yeah, I'm talking about son, just let me know when Kana starts to come out to wrestle. Dad! I'm like, I'm on my way.
But you know what, though? I just heard recently that they let go of some I just heard recently they let some wrestlers go from WWE again.
Yeah, there were low card
Braun
wrestlers.
Strowman was one of them.
Yeah, he was the biggest name, but he's at the end of his career. His knees are shot, but the
He
rest
needs
of
knee
them,
surgery on both. He needs both his knees were fixed then. And I think Dakota Kai and some other wrestler
he was another.
and then some other female wrestlers from like NXT were let go too.
Yeah, it's with the economy. The ticket prices have spiked, and a lot of the job loss. Yes, they're getting butts in the seats, but when millions of people have gotten laid off and lost their job in the past few months, you're talking about 5 million people lost their job. That's a lot of people, and you got to figure at least some of those were WWE fans that probably went to the events that aren't going to be spending money. And a lot of your minor league hockey teams discovered all this. You have a team, minor league hockey team in like Dayton, Ohio. Yes, you had 5 Delphi plants, a GM plant, truck and bus, and a Chrysler plant. You're talking, 500,000 people working, making good money, patronizing the hockey team. But when they all lost their jobs, when they shuttered all those plants, the attendance at a Bombers hockey game went from 8,000 down to about 1,200 a game.
Wow.
You can't support a team like that. The old movie Slapshot touched up on that. When you got massive job loss in a town like that is trying to support a sports team like that, when you put that many people out of work that pay money to support that team isn't around anymore, the team will fold or they'll move. That's why we lost the Dayton Bombers. They folded.
Wow.
A lot has happened already. It's crazy.
Yeah, and WWE knows all this. They got economists just like me that they hire to do an impact study. They're like, okay, how can we save money if we don't sell this amount of tickets? Well, you can start, number one, you cut your workforce. Now, we don't know if they did any cuts in the office, but they cut some wrestlers that were not making enough impact to where they're profitable.
Well, they weren't having him wrestle so much. Braun Strowman wasn't really wrestling very much lately. So
Yeah, for me, well, he was probably under contract that they weren't going to renew. They got a lot of wrestlers under contract. They're already paid. They're just not going to renew their contract. Now, for me, I would, if I wasn't using somebody, I'd let them all go. I'd keep the top talent. You only need maybe about 10 girls and 10 guys to have one show.
Exactly. You don't need to have a whole bunch of the wrestlers that are not working or performing themselves well just to be around. You don't need that.
Yeah, I would, like I said, I would just keep the top talent and let everybody else go. Go to AEW or I'd only keep the top talent down in NXT. I would only keep the top talent of NXT to keep it still profitable because, they're losing money, but it's being felt. Even the MLB is feeling this.
Major League Baseball's feeling it right now.
Yeah, because you look at their stands.
Yeah, and then like basketball, they had to switch the head coach for the Spurs because Popovich he's already moved up into position there with the Spurs now. He's not a coach anymore. He's now president of the league now with the Spurs. He was doing like a press conference thing and where he took his jacket off and it said El Jefe on the front and then it said president on the back, President Popovich or something like that.
I'm going to test you, okay, for a second. You too, Darren. Like the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
Why do you think they moved out of Oakland to Vegas?
Money. Who's doing money?
Probably because money issues right there. That's probably what it
Nope.
is.
Nope. I used to pick up loads and deliver loads to FedEx right next door to the Coliseum there. Google map it. You'll see a big FedEx yard right next door to the Coliseum. It had nothing to do with money. It had to do with the city building them a new stadium. Okay, when a city has a stadium, the people of that city, they use their tax money to build a stadium to house a team. The stadium is paid for by that city. Okay. The Coliseum was getting old. There was cracks in the concrete. Yeah, it was still pretty, but it was old. It was built in the 60s. That was the only reason. That was one. The city wasn't getting any money because Oakland is a collapsed city, just like Detroit. And they
put something else there.
And you want to know? It wasn't having to do with money. You want to know why?
Why?
Because I know a lot of people don't like hearing this because they don't quite understand it. Major League Baseball, NHL hockey, basketball, and football are all socialized. What do I mean by that? That means it's not like what it used to be where the revenue made by the home team gets to keep that revenue. It doesn't work that way. Whatever revenue every stadium makes in a game goes to the league, and it's split. Like in the MLB, there are 32 teams. Whatever revenue was made during that year is split between the 32 teams. They all get an equal amount. In the playoffs, if you're in the round, they split the revenue amongst the teams. But if you're knocked out, whoever's left, they're the only ones that are sharing the revenue. That's why they give out those freaking big bonuses in the playoffs. And it's the same way in all sports. That's why they made a salary cap on the people that they have on their team.
Okay, well that makes sense what you're saying there. It makes 100% sense there.
But a lot of them go over that salary cap. Like the Cubs used to be well over the salary cap, but not anymore.
Oh no, the Cubs, they back in the day they were way over the gap, like way over on that one, like literally over that one. Mm-hmm. I know that pretty well because
we're still one of the richest teams, though. The Cubs are.
Yeah, they're still the richest team out there, but it's still the same thing. Nothing's changed though.
Yeah, and a lot of people think it's the Yankees that's the most popular, and it's not. It's Chicago Cubs, and here's why. The Cubs have been on WGN since TV was created. WGN is a station out of Chicago. It's number 9. And in every cable package all over the world gets WGN. That's why a lot of Asians, you'll see them wearing a Cubs hat or a Cubs jersey. I saw them all over Taiwan. And they're like, "You're from Chicago?" "Yeah, born and raised there. They wouldn't leave me alone, Like, I've been to Wrigley Field many a times.
I've been to Chicago twice.
That's how I learned all that.
Times. I've been there twice, and I bought caps and T-shirts from the stores there, But I've told my brother because my brother actually lives in Illinois himself. He's like 30 to 40, like 45 minutes to an hour away from Chicago there, so. He's in Shorewood, Illinois, which is right outside of Rockford.
Sure. Who's that talking?
My mother. She's talking to me.
Oh, okay. Sherwood. Right, that's where they filmed The Breakfast Club. They used Sherwood High School in that movie.
Yeah, that's where my brother lives right now. I've been there twice.
Did you visit the high school?
Where he used to live first was Joliet, Illinois.
Yeah, my sisters are nurses at the hospital there.
Yeah, well, my brother lived in Joliet, and then that's where that actor Adrian Curry's from, Joliet, Illinois. And then my brother moved to Shorewood because his in-laws gave him a house where they used to live at, and his in-laws bought a new house 5 minutes away from them, so it actually kind of worked out. So things actually worked out for him.
And Joliet, they also filmed the Blues Brothers there too.
Yes, I know. I've seen that movie so many times. so many times. It's like, man,
My mom worked the prison there until she got the job in Chicago. And when she wasn't at the prison, she was at the scale house on Interstate 55, which we call the Double Nickel.
oh,
That's how she met my dad. Pulled him in at like 3 a.m, and he had a tail light out and wrote his ass up for it. My dad said, "I didn't give a shit. I got the phone number." I'd have been the same way. I don't give a shit. I got the phone number.
wow, that's crazy.
That was back in the 60s when that happened.
So, Darren, how's everything going for you today?
Fantastic, thank you.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, after that long election contract, got some sleep, catching up on everything else.
Catching up with all your other work-related stuff.
Yeah, applying for another contract.
Oh, boy. Are you planning on doing any traveling anytime soon?
No. Unless I go see Josh at a casino or something like that.
Yeah, well, I don't have any plans to do any traveling anytime soon either right now.
Why not? I'm always traveling.
Yeah, you're
you're
not-
always on the road all the time.
Yep.
Right.
And the way the economy's going, I'm not probably going to be taking any home time, and I don't see any improvement.
I can understand what you mean
Because
by that, man. It's like
if I
I
could
don't
show
see
you,
anything like with my schedule right now. I just don't see anything like changing anytime soon right now, this minute. So
yeah,
I just
could
don't
drive-
see nothing.
if I could drive you around the yard here, there's a lot of trucks, bobtails sitting here. That, I mean, it's beyond what normally is here,
Uh-oh.
and they're empty. They're empty. They're empty. They're either waiting for a driver, for the most part, and maybe a small percentage are going back to the dealership. But a lot of these are empty trucks because a lot of them quit and threw their keys and said, "I quit," because they weren't making anything, and rightfully so.
Jeez.
And that's bad.
Actually, that does sound real bad right there. It does, because, you know, for them to be doing that, that means like it's wrong right there. What's going on there?
Well, like I said, it cost me $800 each for my steer tires. That's double what they used to be, and that's thanks to inflation. And I'm like, if all this shit is going up, then the rates need to go up, but the rates are staying the same.
Jeez.
It seems like nothing gets better.
Yeah, if I'm spending $800 for a steer tire, which was $380 and change, you know, I need to see a lot more revenues going up.
That's like highway robbery.
It is highway robbery. That's what I think too, Darren, on that one. I think of it like that because, you know, if they're going to be doing it like that, then inflation should go up higher than that. Man, that's crazy how they have everything priced out these days.
But that's
like
how
for the tires that I put on my car, I spent about almost $900 for all 4 tires just to get them switched out, just to get new ones. Almost $900, and they're Goodyear tires, and they're the good ones. And I spent like $800 and something.
yeah, that's why
By
a
the
lot
time
of
they did all the work and everything to it. So,
like, you know, we got to complain about the welfare queens, but no complaint about bailing out these multi-billion-dollar companies with our tax money, like AIG getting $800 billion tax bailout.
Really?
Hey, where's everybody else's bailout that are losing their houses? Oh, we can't do that.
They don't care.
We'll take care of the bill.
They don't care at all.
That's why here in the States we have the saying, leave no billionaire behind. Screw everybody else, even though we're the majority.
Are they ending up on the streets, Sean?
Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's homeless everywhere. It doesn't matter where now. And you go to the Bureau of Economic Research and Labor Statistics in D.C. It's a nonpartisan thing, and they release a report every quarter. There's only 183 billionaires that live in the United States. 183 out of 340 million.
Wow. That's crazy if you ask me. Really crazy.
Well, that's mathematics there. Those people have more wealth than the 90% of the rest of us.
Well, something I was never good at in school was math, and I always hated it.
That's why I like my economics professor when he made that speech. At that time, it was 48 of the richest people on this planet have more wealth than the bottom 2/3 of the population of this planet, which consists of almost 8 billion people. Which of you has a moral, ethical, or religious values to such a system? And exactly, the room got dead silent.
Wow.
This is a level of inequality that brings us back to the pyramids.
Does sound like the days of the Egyptians building pyramids in those days. Man, I tell you what, it seems like instead of the economy getting better, it's getting worse. That's how I'm seeing it today.
You know, these people that are billionaires, they don't work hard. They didn't work
They don't
hard
care
to
to
become what
work
they
hard.
become.
They just do whatever they want.
They live off the surplus that like Bezos, the Amazon employees, create for him.
Yeah, but he's laid off a bunch of those employees too. He's made a bunch of cutbacks too.
Yeah,
And that Blue Origin thing that Jeff Bezos owns, my cousin, she works for it here where I live. And I used to work out there for a contractor for 2 years. And when I see her, we'll talk and stuff like that. And if we see each other in person, we'll talk and or on the phone. And she said that they've had to cut back hiring other employees for Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin thing because of cutbacks of everything there. So they're not hiring nobody right now. So right now it's like they won't, even if you try to apply, they won't hire you right now. You'll probably be waiting for a long time.
yeah, they're not. Nobody's hiring anywhere.
Nobody's
You have-
hiring right now.
You have to know somebody or blow somebody to get a job right now.
Exactly. It's one of those two things right there, it's like the only places that will actually hire you would either be like a Family Dollar or a Dollar Tree, Dollar General. One of those stores will hire you, but that's it, No other place will get you right now.
The reason why I know this is because Busi Bonita, she was here like 2 weeks, and she went to Fayetteville with her friends. She was in Winston-Salem with family, but she's in Fayetteville with friends, and she got a job because of her friend. That was the only reason how she got that.
Wow.
That's why if I ever make it to Fayetteville, I'm going to meet up with her and buy dinner. And I'm like, I want a plate of Pansit. I haven't had a plate of Pansit in 10 years. I tried it in one of our grocery stores in the frozen food aisle. Bad idea. It tastes like the box it came in. I was like, that's not Pansit. I threw it away.
That's a waste of time right there.
It's like the box it came in.
Yeah.
Darren gets the good stuff because he's married to a Filipina, so he gets the good stuff right there with that. The real stuff.
Yeah, but he's got to get her to Canada. I gave him the idea. Go to the embassy and invite the ambassador to dinner and make friends. And then you say, hey, can you push up my paperwork for my wife? I want to take her home. I buy him dinner, buy him drinks. That's how you do things like that.
Aha. Smart.
Well, that's what I told you, Darren. When you were there, get with your ambassador. Push that paperwork up a little faster. I don't know who your ambassador to the Philippines is. Hell, I don't even know the ambassador of the Philippines for the United States is. But I know where the embassy is between the Manila airport and the Manila hotel. About halfway between the two is when I saw it. I'm like, oh, there's the embassy. I didn't think I was going to be seeing the embassy. I thought it was like downtown, you know. And then I looked over to my right and saw that big, tall skyscraper, and it said Bureau of Foreign Affairs in big letters on the top of the building. And I was like, oh, so that's where the foreigners go to cheat on their wives. You know, the Bureau of Foreign Affairs, why not? That's when Donna said, it doesn't mean that. I said, oh, let's read it. If you're a foreigner and you're having an affair, you're married, you know, there you go.
A lot of people
One
don't
guy
care
gave me
nowadays.
Yeah, one guy in the bus turned around, looked at me, and gave me a dirty look, and I was laughing. I saw him give me a dirty look. I pointed at him. I said, "Did I just give you away?" Everybody else was laughing about it. Barry goes, I don't believe it. That's funny. Barry was laughing.
So Darren, how's the process coming along to get your wife to be there in Canada already?
It's going great, my friend. Just it's in the government's hands. It's in the process, and just got to be
but it's
patient.
been over a freaking year. I'm like, I can't wait that long. I said, I'll tell you what, until my wife gets here, come over here. I'm going to hump your leg.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, so how long did they say it would be for you, Darren, before she can actually be there with you?
Up to 13 months.
Damn,
Well,
it's
shit,
already been a
you've hit
year
that.
and still nothing.
It's been over a year. He's already hit that mark.
You've already hit the. You've already pretty much hit the 13-month mark, haven't you?
No, because it's didn't have all the paperwork completed. It was started gathering the paperwork last year.
Oh, I thought it was the point that your wedding took place because you got married in February last year.
Yeah.
You got married in the Philippines, right, Darren?
Sorry?
You got married in the Philippines, right, when you went up there?
That's correct.
Damn, they should have already had all that stuff processed and done already a long time ago.
Well, Darren, are you still having a ceremony in Canada?
Not for a while. Maybe maybe at something like 10th. Maybe 10th.
Because I made a promise I'd definitely show up for that because you had me the best man.
Well, if that's the case, then I'll have to make a trip myself too. Even if it means I have to fly over there.
Yeah, but I see, Darren. That's why I regret not going on that first trip because it would have made a difference. I would have destroyed. I would have took Les' cell phone and put it in a drink and say, "You're going to be sociable. I'll get you a new phone in the morning." Forget about that. It would have made a big difference. Trust me. You got to do that with some women. I'll buy you a new cell phone and a better one tomorrow. That's what Snoop Dogg did in that Corona commercial. He took his friend's phone and put in a glass of water and handed him a beer. That means be sociable. Get off your damn cell phone.
Yeah.
Because when I meet up with people, I put my cell phone away, or I just leave it on the truck and forget about it. You know, that's what I did with you, Darren. I left my cell phone on the truck.
Yeah, that's the best. You turn it off, whatever it is, because it gets in the way. That's for sure. Everybody's on their phones.
Yeah, but it was that Corona commercial that gave me that idea. Oh, I'll just take her cell phone, put it in a drink of water. I'll buy you a new one tomorrow. and a better one. Here, and hand her a drink.
Uh, that's fine.
Yeah.
One second.
He's got to go to the CR.
But one thing is for certain: when Douche did all that business, laying off all those federal employees, that put us above the unemployment level of the Great Depression. We broke that record. But the news will not tell you that. All you got to do is go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and you'll get the results right there. The true unemployment rate right now is over 30%. 30% of our workforce is now unemployed. And then you got to figure the percentage of children and the percentage of retirees. Not very many people are still working after that. Less money to be spent on shit. Plus, the price of shit's going up like crazy. I'm just glad I don't eat eggs. But that's a hell of a song, though, Darren. Did you like it? From Tennessee Brando, Shut Up and Eat Your Eggs. That was great. You got over 1 million views on that, but he wrote it and performed it himself. Darren, are you here?
He went to the CR.
Oh, where's Adrian?
I guess he's busy with his mom.
Yeah, see, I'm sitting back here in the sleeper. The phone's still attached to the holder up on the windshield. Something tells me that they're not going to get to that trailer for a while. And I'll probably end up having dinner up at the Come and Go.
Come and go.
Well, that's what it's called. KUM and GO. But you're going to see that name disappear because the company of Maverick out of Utah bought them up. Maverick is about ready to become nationwide, and they're a good truck stop and gasoline stations. Maverick is, because they got those sausages they sell with the hot dogs. It's called Obama, not Obama, Obama, BAMA, and they're really good.
He said come and go. That's funny. I've seen them too. They're like Wawas, right? Gas stations.
Yeah, there are some that are truck stops too.
He says I'll probably eat at the come and go.
Yeah, I usually make a joke and said, yeah, a former lot lizard made that company. That was a joke, by the way. It's not true.
The way you said it though, like, well, I guess I'll eat at the come and go. It's like,
well, they got good food up there. They got good food up there. Matter of fact, it seems like everybody that goes to and from work always stop in there for coffee, donuts, or whatever. And when they go home, that's where a lot of them buy their dinner and go home. And they make pizzas there that are better than Domino's and Pizza Hut. And they know it because everybody else is learned that too. I said, because y'all's pizza sucks, and here's why. You gotten skimpy on the cheese, and you gotten skimpy on the ingredients, and you hardly put any sauce on this pizza at all. Pizza is supposed to have sauce on it. When you get it. It has no sauce on it. It's just like they cover the pizza first with the sauce, just enough to where it looks like it was painted on, with all the ingredients over the top, and there's hardly any sauce at all. I'm like, that's not freaking pizza. You want to know what a pizza is? Go to Chicago, and you take a bite, and there's plenty of sauce on that. There's a big difference.
Deep dish, is that the deep dish, Sean?
Shit, yes. And it's just good. It's expensive, but they put massive mozzarella cheese and sauce and sausage on it. And you're like, wow, this is what pizza's. But yeah, that's what it's supposed to taste like. There's a big difference between that and getting it, Papa John's and all this other bullshit. They try to profit as much as possible and be as thin as they can on the ingredients. Now, when I was a kid, these pizza places were actually really good, like Pizza Hut, because they put sauce on the pizza and good ingredients and a lot. But you look at a pizza today versus back then, you'll see like more than half the ingredients is gone. It's like, what am I buying here? You're charging more, but using less ingredients. But that's what capitalists do. That's the name of the game.
That's right.
And you done it slowly over time, where people won't notice it. But somebody that knows pizza, like your people from Illinois around the Chicago area know pizza, they noticed it right away. Because my sister, I remember this is back in the late 90s. She's like, man, I ordered this pizza. Look at this shit. And I was like, man, they only put like half the ingredients. Did they forget to put shit on here? Big difference. Yeah, when you got a pizza back in the day, just like Papa John's was running that Shaquille O'Neal pizza, you saw all the pepperoni that's on there. They made it look nice for the commercial, but when you freaking order one and it gets delivered to you, they only have about a quarter of the pepperoni on it. Not like what you saw in the commercial. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. And they try and cut them so thin as well.
That's why anything with Shaquille O'Neal attached to it, don't buy it. Because I remember he had the Shack Pack at McDonald's for a while, and that sucked tits too. Was bad.
That sucked tits too.
Yeah, if they were bring it back, go get one. And you'd be like, no.
Suck tits.
I mean, Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, come on. Yeah, he was Rookie of the Year for the Orlando Magic when he entered the NBA. He won like one or two NBA rings, but he's been retired for God knows how long. And the man had no talent at all. Well, he was in the NBA. Look, anybody that is 7 foot tall can slam dunk a basketball, and that's all he did. He couldn't hit a free throw to save his ass.
Broke backboards and all that.
Yeah, he can't shoot. He shot the ball 3 feet from the hole and couldn't make it. Now that's talent. Hitting threes like Larry Bird and Reggie Miller, that's talent. And he couldn't do it to save his ass.
His ass sucked tits.
But, he goes up under the hole, you dish off the ball to him, and he slam dunks it. Well, shit, anybody can do that.
Michael
If
Jordan.
7 foot tall. Jordan can dunk. He was the king at it. He could make a jump from the free throw line, fly across, and slam dunk it. That's what he was famous for. On a running jump from the free throw line, he'd leave the floor, and on a flight, slam dunk it. And that's like what, 30 feet away from the hoop. That's why I always made that joke when he did it. He'd always have his tongue sticking out. I'm like, what's the tongue thing about? Does it give him extra flight? What is that? And me, I used to go to the amphitheater to see the Chicago Bulls play when the amphitheater existed. That's where they played. And they were lucky to fill half the seats in that place. We get Michael Jordan and Pippen and we start winning. Everybody and their mother became a fan. That's what happens when the bandwagon steals your team.
Yeah.
I said, give me somebody you know that played for the Chicago Bulls before Jordan's rookie year. Exactly. Dead silence because nobody could tell you. Jordan for the NBA was like what Gretzky did for the NHL.
Ooh.
That must have been a good lunch.
Not really.
What'd you donate?
For lunch, I got me some brisket. It's really good at that TA between Joplin and Springfield. There's a brand new TA, and they offer brisket and ribs and all kinds of stuff. I almost said bris instead of brisket. There's a difference.
What's on your
I've
mind?
actually been to a brisk when they did it to a female. They had to pull the lips out and go to town.
I never knew that they did a bris for females.
For those that needed that, for those that had penises, they had to cut them off.
Well, you're talking a morphodite, and those are very, very rare. The only one that I know is the famous actress. She was the woman that played in the original Halloween movies, Jamie Lee Curtis. She was born a morphodite, and within the first day of her birth, the parents decided she'd be female. It wasn't released until like 10 years ago that she was born a morphodite. And that was to prove a point. Morphodites cannot live beyond puberty because they've had a few that tried to, and when the body can't decide on going one way or the other, it shuts your organs down and you die. That's all a matter of science. That's why people, well, I know somebody. Everybody knows somebody. I'm like, tell me who they were so I can investigate this, because when puberty hits and you're a morphodite, you don't survive.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
That's why you better decide on what you want to be. That's why there are only two sexes. I hate this when people are mixing sexuality with gender. I'm like, no, that's not a gender. That's called sexuality. You are male or female. You're just gay.
Okay.
Or you're bisexual. Or you're a heterosexual. The only thing that I made up was another sexuality called trisexual. That means you'll try anything. And when you're on the internet long enough, you'll be like, Jesus. Yep, there's some of those. You see them women shoving baseball bats up their twat, and it's like, I don't want it. You guys go ahead.
That's the big league, Sean.
I'm like, and these women think that they think it's hot, and the guys like it. I'm like, no, that's a hole you're gonna fall in. I don't want it to tie a board to my ass.
You just got to put breadcrumbs so you can find the way out.
Hell, you don't. Hey, Darren, I'm down here. Oh, you're right there. Okay.
Oh, you're Sean. I'm down here. Here. Where? Here. What you cave diving for? It's funny. Absolutely funny.
Yeah. Oh, Sean left? Okay.
Oh no, he's
I'm still here.
I know, but Sean, I guess something happened.
Guess he hit a spot where probably.
He's doing something with his trucker trailer. He's doing something. He's doing something. He'll be back. He'll be back. It was so nice to see you, Adrian.
Good to see you too, my friend.
I'm glad you are well.
I'm always doing good. I'm always doing all right myself, so I'm not complaining.
Taking care of the parents, I guess, which is nice.
Yeah, still taking care of my mom, but it's always a good thing.
That is a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing.
Yep. Doing what I gotta do.
How is your mom
Eddie.
doing, by the way?
Huh?
How's mom doing?
She's good. She's doing real good. Actually, we have a video conference next week with her doctor on the phone next week, so I have to. I gotta be on a video conference call with her doctor next week and give us her blood work results and stuff like that next week. So we'll be doing it through Zoom next week. So
that sounds good.
yeah, I'm sure she's doing pretty good. You know, she hasn't. She hasn't shown signs of being sick or anything, so she's good. So we're doing okay here.
I think that's fantastic.
But Josh, you and Marion are in my prayers, and if you ever need to talk, you can always message me privately. So,
Do I have to sleep with you?
huh?
Do I have to sleep with you?
No, you don't.
Okay.
That's out of the question.
I didn't know if we were going to do a reach around.
No, that's out of the question there, Josh.
Darren said he was up for it.
No, not me. Not me. But anyhow, guys, I gotta get down from here because I'm about to start driving. So, Darren, I'll see you tonight in your live tonight.
Sounds perfect.
Josh, just
All
be
right.
strong and keep your faith. Keep strong, and don't. We'll be praying for both you and your wife, and hopefully she gets better soon, and she'll be able to be home with you soon.
All right. I appreciate it, sir.
All right, y'all guys take care and have a blessed day.
You too.
You too. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, Darren, I'm about to get done here, and this chat kind of died. So
Everybody's Gandhi.
But I'll see you tonight. I'll have all the. I told my mom. I said I used and don't take this the wrong way. It's not. I'm just teasing. But I told her. I said, "Free at last! Thank God I'm free at last!" You know, and doing like an MLK thing. And she's like, "That's just disturbing." I was like, "Mom, you know what I mean." Yes, but some will probably think it's racism and, you know, and you're being rude about Marion and all this stuff. I said, "No, I'm just playing. I always joke with people."
Uh, oh, that's funny. Uh,
It's part of his speech. I mean, you know, I just, and that, or I typed, told Sean in quotation marks, I says, freedom, you know, and as like from Braveheart. And he's like, I get it. Yep. So,
that's cute.
sorry.
It's all good.
Right. You guys should know me by now how I joke all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean anything at all.
No worries.
A damn phone went dead. It didn't give me no warning or anything. And when I started this damn live stream, I was at 70%. Jesus.
And I thought you said you had it plugged in.
Not when it's up there on the dashboard.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm going to hang it up on this. And Sean, I'll call you or something. Darren, we'll talk again.
Thanks, brother. Nice to see you, Sean.
All right. Now you too, Darren. See you tonight. Bye, guys.
All right.
God bless. Bye-bye.
All right, see you. All right, everybody. Take care. I am done with this for today.